on your experience, have you thought about any specific criteria to select that specific portion out of the entire process to start with? Depends. For example, is the important value-adding activity or most expensive kind of portion out of your entire process? Do you have any?
Yes, we have experiences on that. By having now for 2.5 years our competence center for small and medium-sized enterprises. So we talk to a lot of these small and medium-sized enterprises.
Yeah.
There is no just one answer. But the answer is always depending on the requirements of the markets of their customers, for example. So sometimes they are just having the requirement of producing more variants in a shorter time. So they don't they don't deliver, let's say, 1,000 pieces each month, but they now deliver 20 today, 40 tomorrow, 100 the day after, and each day there will be a new requirement.
Yeah.
So they talk about a complete number of devices they have to deliver over a longer time.
Yeah.
But now the specific numbers are told by day, for example. So this may be one requirement. Another requirement very often is that they have some old piece of equipment and they want to replace it anyway.
Right.
So then they ask us what will be the next step, what should we do for the next step in our equipment, for example. So therefore you always have to analyze the situation first and then do the right steps.
I see. So that's a good, very important kind of comment. Analyze the current status and then see what's the most potential kind of area that you can achieve maximum kind of ROI, right? Okay, I think we can think about a lot of technical aspect of smart factory, but also social aspect of smart factory might be pretty important, and a lot of people worried about losing their job by having at the cost of having smart factory. So can you think of any kind of like some social aspect of smart factory development?
Well, if we look back in history, that has always been the case. So I know exactly in the 70s when the robots came up, the people had a lot of fear that these robots will take over their workplace, for example. But also from history we learned that this never happened, but this was always a step forward. So this is what we have to communicate to the people today as well. And most important is that you keep your people informed about these things. As soon as they think they are not informed and there is something coming up with it which they don't understand, they have a specific fear of what's happening. So a good situation at home is that we have very close contacts not only to the people and the companies itself, but also to the unions, for example, and also to the workers in the factory. So we invite them for workshops, for information events, for example, to keep them informed in all this process. So this is the one side of the business. The other side is surely, as I said, that we have a decreasing workforce at all. So we have to take care of everyone on the worker market. And this means that we have to qualify these people for this new age. So we have to train them, for example. So let's take an example. In the past, for example, a typical electrician, he has a measuring device, a voltmeter, for example, and he goes and measures 24 volts normally, or 380 or 400 volts. Today he needs a network tester because he has to also keep up a very complex network. He has to know how to use software, for example, of setting up the network, of checking the network and things like this. So we have changing conditions for the workforce. This means qualification starting from universities or from the apprentice level and going up to those workers who are working already for 20 years in the factory. So we have to retrain, requalify them for this new age.
I see. Okay, I think we do have a last question. I know that I heard that you've been here in Korea a couple of times and work with various kind of like professionals and academia. So based on your experience observing Korean economy and the development of smart factory, do you have any kind of specific suggestion that you would like to share with us, please?
Well, first of all, from my experience, Korea was the first nation in Far East who was adapting all these technologies. So I had my very first project with Korea already in 2009 and 10. So this was even 1 or 2 years before the World Industry 4.0 was invented in 2011.
Yeah.
So since then, a lot has been achieved here, I see. On the other side, it's very hard to really give advice from Germany into Korea, because each country has its different requirement and its different starting conditions. So the German economy is structured in a different way than the Korean economy. So you have to perhaps listen to what's going on in the world, what others do, but then find your own solution here.
I see.
Especially, I think, as I said already, move into this evolutionary path, going stepwise into this new world. And this is, as I also said, not driven by just giving money, but just giving expertise, knowledge and help to the people. So I think everywhere in the world where I go, there are made some mistakes in that case. They say, hey, we'll give them just $500,000 US, for example, and it will work. But normally it will not, especially not for the small and medium-sized ones. But they need really on-site help, helping them to understand the situation and moving into this new age.
I see. Thank you very much for taking your valuable time. I hope you enjoyed the visit to Korea this time.
Yes,
and I hope you
very
have
much
a
always.
safe trip. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well.
Thank you.